Super Heavy Sam here, back with take two. You ever been recording and then realized that something was just wrong the whole time you were recording? Yeah. My mic wasn't working, but we're going to get right back into it. We're back with another week of comic books, discussions, what have you. We're going to be following the same format. We're going to do reads of the week. I did find something new that I wanted to try. It's pretty much comic book battles where I take my reads of the week, I put them head to head to you guys see what I thought was the best, well, my favorite read of the week. Then we're going to go from that to pickups of the week. I wasn't able to get my physical pickups this week, but my CLZ app will allow me to show you guys what is in my pull box. Then we got some news going on here, nothing major. I got like, what is this, five articles that I wanted to go over. I did not pre-read them because I kind of like wanted an authentic reaction, but I know what the headline of the article is, but what it says, I'm not too sure. And then, we're going to go into the outro. So as you can see here, first read of the week is going to be Daredevil Unleash Hell #1, where we have Elektra continuing her role as Daredevil, protecting Hell's Kitchen, and along in the story, we have like this art student named Morgan who is very, very sensitive about her art. And while her art teacher was critiquing her, there was this, I guess, this demon entity in hell who pretty much tells her to off her art teacher, and he's going to start feeding off of her and probably use her for future issues. And this is probably going to be, the start of a new adversary for Daredevil. And we're going to see where it goes from here. This pick right here was actually a kind of like, and I've explained it before, what My Locals does. Sorry, let me fix my mic because it's kind of high and it's rubbing my chin. So what My Locals does is based on what they think you will like and whatnot, they'll just slip certain books into your pull list, and this was one of them. I like it. I mean, so number one, reading it, I didn't feel lost or anything. So I think this is something I'll continue. I actually have to add it to my pull list though. But on to the next one. We have Black Lightning, All In, issue 3. The confrontation continues, issue 1 and 2. Natasha and Lynn and Anissa and Jennifer, they're pretty much in Steelworks, and Steelworks is being infiltrated by the Volcania, and the Masters of Disaster. And pretty much the whole thing here with this is the fact that Anissa is still having issues using her powers, and while everybody's back is against the wall, she decides to, drop the little power denser belt and actually help out. And it kind of it kind of ends on a bad note because she uses her powers and they pretty much overtake her in a sense. So still dealing with that, still dealing with people not liking people with superpowers. So you're dealing with the media attention, you're dealing with citizens while trying to protect them. They don't like you. Pretty much they're getting the mutant treatment, and it kind of sucks. But that's really it for that. We have issue 2 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cross Naruto. So where we left off at in issue 1, the Turtles and Team 7 were fighting each other, and it kind of ends in a stalemate because the Foot Clan attacks. They work together to defeat them, and the Foot Clan, you find out that they're just trying to steal kind of like the secrets to the ooze that's been, that turned the turtles into turtles and things like that. And I'm really liking this. It's a different take. You got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, then you have Naruto, which is a group of ninjas, and they pretty much have to work together, which I found out that this is like a second iteration. I don't know if this is a continuation of what the first set had, because I didn't know anything about it until this one. So we're just going to see what happens with that. And yeah, I've been really happy reading this. We have Ultimate Spider-Man 13, which has been pretty much everyone's anticipated uh, comic. It's been good. Issue 13, we have, as you see from the cover pretty much spoils it itself. Craven has Peter and Harry on the run. He is playing a game with them. He is hunting them down, trying to off them. And he gave them like a 3 hour head start, if I remember correctly. You can correct me in the comics, in the comics, in the comments, but I think he gave them like a 3 hour head start, and he put them like in this. It's the world of the Mole Man. I believe it's the Mole Man. I can't remember. This is why I take notes. Honestly, this is exactly why I take notes. But there's everything down there. There's like dinosaurs, like bugs, things like that. But they have to find a way to get out of this underworld before Craven is set off to get them. Next up, we have Wolverine issue 2, another book that I've actually been having a lot of fun reading. We dive deeper into deeper. Jeez, I need a counter for how many times I get tongue tied. But we dive deeper into Akihiro's transformation to Wolverine following his resurrection by the demon Bagragul. He starts to regain his memories, and with the help of Doctor Strange, finds out that he has to go back to the North Pole. And then we find this sinkhole, and then we find out that it's like a portal to hell, and it's just a lot. This issue actually gave a lot, and pretty much it's just him understand why he was resurrected, and from my guess is probably really trying to take advantage of this second chance at life, because this demon did bring him back to life. So this is a second chance at life. He's trying to figure out, before he can really settle, he has to figure out, what this demon's intentions are and things like that. You see my hand, and go from there. Next up, we have Rat City issue 10, another book that I've really been enjoying reading. Not much information has been given to us, but Peter and Kyron, they're on the run because after Peter pretty much exploded into Hellspawn, he took out pretty much all of the military forces, and he's on the run. He's on the run for the man, I forgot his the guy he was in the military with. I forgot his name, but he's on the run for, because they're pinning that guy's death on him, and he's still trying to figure out what the heck is going on with this suit that he's wearing. The suit's trying to take him over. He's trying to fight it to control it, and like I said, that's really all we get, because not much is being given to us. So I don't know. It's almost like they don't know if they're trying to use the roots of Al Simmons as a base for this, or if they're trying to take their own route. But, in 10 issues, it feels like all this could have been done in one issue, so to speak. Everything has just been hey, we're after these guys. And that's all we've been getting. It's just a game of cat and mouse. We're looking for you, we catch you, you beat us, you run away, and that's all it's been. But other than that, I mean, it's still a good read, because if they do what I think they're doing, or what I think they're going to do, it's going to make for a really, really good story. But they're just taking their time getting there, if that makes sense. Next up, we have Blade, issue 4. We get Pontinus. We get his backstory, where we find out that his family was murdered, and then Cain from the Bible. We find out like that's how Pontinus got his power, from Cain from the Bible, which kind of threw me for a loop, but I guess. But we also find out that Elena backstabbed Blade in the back, backstabbed him, not in the back, literally, but she backstabbed him so that she can use Blade as bait to get to Pontinus, which it kind of worked, because his henchmen ended up finding them and trying to attack them, and Blade used the blood of the henchmen to find Pontinus, and they were able to communicate. Hypnotis told Blade how to find him, and that's pretty much how the story ends. All right, next up we have Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon. This book right here has been really, really good. There's different ones like this, but this one is good. You have two people who were very likely to meet working together. So what ends up happening is Doctor Doom wants to know the pretty much he wants to know the secret to the universe, the big question why we exist. And he has the magic, but he doesn't have the technological intelligence. So we all know that Rocket Raccoon is if it has a circuit board, Rocket Raccoon can figure it out. So him and Rocket Raccoon pretty much figure out how to make this machine, to figure out how to, go back even before the Big Bang. And he's able to get the answer to his question. And it's a very, very good book, which I really enjoyed. It's really good. I really, really, literally had doubts about this. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but it was great. I recommend picking it up. Next up, we have Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. This is still just an origin story. Gunslinger, he's Hellspawn. He got his powers. He's trying to understand his powers. He's looking for the people who murdered his sister and did those bad things to him. So, I mean, we've seen it before, but this is more in depth. And I feel like we're getting like a deeper backstory, which is why it's a really good read. It kind of like fills in some holes because we kind of like know, oh yeah, his sister was murdered. He was, tortured and stuff. But now the story pretty much goes what happened in between all that, which is, again, really good. Justice League Unlimited, I'm gonna be honest, meh. Nothing much to really say. I mean, bad guy, you're looking for bad guy. Some stuff happens. Continue reading to find out. I mean, that's pretty much the topic of every book, but it's like, not to say that the story is boring, but I don't know. I guess this is like my first authentic Justice League story that I'm not really into it that much, but I will honestly just keep reading because there is something going on that I kind of like want to see to the end. There is a hit out on the Justice League, and a mole was planted in the group to make that happen. And I kind of want to see if this mole. I know who the mole is, but I'm trying not to spoil it. I know who the mole is. We all know who the mole is if you read it, but I kind of like want to see it through. The Shadow Cabinet, again, it kind of has like the same effect to me as it did on the Justice League because who the story is about, I don't read much of, and that's not by choice. It's just, as I'm reading certain comic books, I'm getting more and more introduced to these people. So this touches more on Hardware, Rocket, Blood Syndicate, which I know very little of, but I found out that there's a milestone compendium pretty much going over all their stories. So it has the old Static Comics, Blood Syndicate Comics, Hardware, like it has like all that in there. So I plan on picking that up to really give myself more knowledge. But to go over this book, Angela Alva, she captures Hardware, defeats the Blood Syndicate, forces Rocket into hiding, and she resurrects her brother Edwin, who we've actually seen in the Static Shock TV show. And yeah, she a bad bitch. Yeah, she doing the damn thing. But her brother kind of like showed her out and said, "Yeah, you might have brought me back to life, but you don't owe me." And literally dipset. Um, and then Dharma and the Shadow Cabinet are preparing to like fight back. Which they're kind of like on an astral plane type thing. Kind of cool though. But yeah, that's that. The Shadow Cabinet is a good read. It's just I'm not really knowledgeable on any of the other heroes besides Static. I read the Icon and Rocket series, so I kind of have a background on Icon and Rocket. Hardware, yes. Blood Syndicate, not at all. As far as I know from what I read, Blood Syndicate are kind of like not a militia, but they're kind of like what Magneto was in the X-Men. It's kind of like, yeah, we have powers and you're treating us like shit. So forget you guys, we're fighting back type of thing. Ultimate Wolverine, I can keep this short and sweet. He's pretty much the Winter Soldier. That's it. He's the Winter Soldier. Now, am I downplaying the story? No, the story is absolutely amazing and badass. Read it, but he's the Winter Soldier, and they're kind of following that same stepping stone of the Winter Soldier. So I highly suggest picking this up. It's good. So if you like Wolverine, if you like the Winter Soldier, if you like the Ultimate Universe for that matter, because the Ultimate Universe has been absolutely amazing, it's good. Definitely pick it up. Then we have Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum. Good read. This is a pretty much an introduction to the new era of Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. Literally new era. They rebuilt Aura. Oa is the central hub of the Corps again, and there's like this thing going on where it's like people are tapping into different lantern powers. So if you're a Red Lantern, they're called fractal lanterns. If you are a Red Lantern, which is rage, and all of a sudden you're feeling greedy, you're able to tap into the power of the Orange Lantern. If you're a Green Lantern, which is willpower, and at some point you feel hope, you're able to tap into the Blue Lantern power. And it's freaking, it's cool, but it's not like fractal lanterns are a bad thing. It's just not understood yet, and they're trying to understand it. So that's what's going on with that. And then we got the new Lantern Sorrow, and I think I talked about it before in a past video. Yeah, Carol Ferris left Homeboy at the altar, and he's pretty sad about it, and he is trying to create his own lantern, and he figured out how to do it. Guy Gardner figured it out, and now they have to stop him before he actually gets it done. And guys, remember when I said my microphone wasn't working? Yeah, I figured out why it wasn't working. It's muted on my Stream Deck. Wolverine's Revenge, issue 4. Wolverine's Revenge, again, kind of like Justice League and the Shadow Cabinet. I don't read much of Wolverine, which is totally fine, because this is actually part of my 2025 reading goals. I am reading about characters I normally don't read about. It's good. It's different. I don't remember, like, I'm trying to remember issues 1 through 3 and trying to figure out when did it switch to this, because it pretty much kind of like set itself back, and it's post-apocalyptic. It's like Western, and there's like he built this town called like Shadow, where everybody kind of like congregates and can live in like quote unquote harmony. And once a year he goes and visits Sabretooth, and this is kind of like I guess this is following their fight and everything that's happened, because in issue 1 they blew up all the other heroes, and he was like the last one standing. But he ended up like beating Sabretooth, and once a year he goes and cuts off like one of Sabretooth's limbs. So like Sabretooth has like no legs and no arm and no eye, and he's running around, and Professor X's like little, it's not even a wheelchair, but his little levitating chair and stuff. And Wolverine does this to kind of like keep him at bay, which his powers have been like dampened, but Wolverine is not taking a chance because he feels like Sabretooth is strong enough to probably overcome that. There's more to the story, but that's pretty much the gist of it. And yeah, we can now move on to the next segment. All right, everybody. That concludes the reads of the week. And I kind of like what I did with that comic book battle. As you can see, Dr. Doom and Rocket Raccoon won by a landslide. I don't know what it was about that book. That book was very funny. Like it kind of like put you in the feels. If you read it, you know. And you kind of went through like a few emotions reading that. You have Rocket Raccoon, who's funny and witty, and then you have Doctor Doom, who's just serious and sarcastic, and not even sarcastic, just serious and very literal. So those two teaming up was just an amazing story. But on to what people just drool over, and that's New Comic Book Day. As you see, I have it up here. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. My dog just shook, so if you heard that, you heard it. If not, then this is a good microphone. But coming up, whenever I go pick them up this week, we have Absolute Superman number 4. This is the cover that I have. This is the cover I would like to have down here. Jeez, that's sick. But this is the cover I have. And Superman meets the mysterious Omega Man. Superman is on the run, pursued across the globe by armed peacemakers and Lazarus Corps top field agents Lois Lane. 9 new force joins to chase. Are the mysterious Omega Men friends or foes for Cal? And again, Superman, just Absolute Superman has just been amazing. I freaking love it. Such a good read. Next up, we have All New Venom. This is wait, what is this? Second printing. So I'm not getting this. It's just a second printing. Luckily, I was able to get print 1, but this and this right here are just amazing. Freaking awesome. Honestly, if I see either one of these, I might just pick it up just because. Freaking awesome covers. Godfather of Hell. I don't think this was in my pull list. It should have been. And my dog is just doing everything under the sun. Everything under the sun. You're a jerk. You know that? People can't. Don't you jump your little self up here. He's trying to jump in my, and he jumped in my lap. Okay. Well, I'm not even showing my face. So I'm not cutting this out. But Godfather of Hell issue 2, Godfather of Hell issue 1 was good. I don't know why it's not in my pickups. I can check, but I'm not going to waste time on the video. Sir, there's nothing up here. If you hear him sniffing, I am sorry. But yeah, you can pause, read that. But issue 1 was really good. Pretty much a mobster gets murdered and pretty much goes to hell, and they're using him because of his skills, and that's pretty much it. These covers, if I see this one, they're incentive variants. So my LCS does have incentive covers, but they're usually like at the front of the store. So I'm actually going to see if they have it. This is dope. Going back, Gunslinger issue 40. Going to put, well, when Gunslinger looks into a mirror, he no longer sees a face that is his own. Every day he spends in the present makes him realize that he may never have the opportunity to return home and set things right. The fact that this man still hasn't made it home yet is freaking wild. But y'all know y'all know my situation with Spawn universe, so I'm not even about to get into that. We got JSA. No cover really sticks out to me. I mean, that one's pretty cool. But we have here Into the Clutches of the Injustice Society. Beth Chapel has searched for answers on what is keeping Jakeem Thunder in his coma, but has come up with only more questions, but with her quest for a cure lead her into the lion's den of the Injustice Society itself. So that's that. We have Juvenile issue 3. I believe I picked up this cover. And once I got this cover too, I want to say. But Sarah decides to trust Max and stop taking her medication, confirming the shocking truth. The virus isn't killing him. It's awakened telekinetic powers that the adults are desperate to suppress. But why are they hiding this, and what are they so afraid of? Juvenile has been a good read. It's different, and I like different. Spawn 360. I'm trying to figure out why is this on here. I have no clue. There's no way it's just this. I mean, it could be. Nope, it's limited to 1300. And that says February 6th. I have no clue. This is these already came out. These are just covers that are dropping. This, because I already have these books. This, and this. This is the second printing of the Ultimate Universe with Ultimate Wolverine on the front. Special limited 500, colored, black and white with their colored bandanas. The Ultimates, what issue is this? Issue 9. Luke Cage in the Ultimate Prison Break. Juan Frigeri joins DS Camp to bring us the history and the future of Luke Cage. Spider-Man is the only success story of the Ultimates 1.0. Meet the man who has been quietly sabotaging the Maker's Council from behind bars. Of course, it's Luke Cage. Luke Cage is cool. Which I didn't read much Luke Cage. Everything I know about Luke Cage is from the TV show Luke Cage, which is very, very cool. This is an awesome cover. All these covers are really cool, honestly. And then we got Wolverine issue 6. Heavy Metal Clash, 2 Wolverines and a Nightcrawler versus Constructor, Cyber, and Deathstrike in a clash of the Adamantium Titans. United by mysterious power, if Logan can't beat them, will he join them? Come for the battle, stay for the jaw-dropping surprise, rated T for Team. And that is it for New Comic Book Day. That's what I got. Everything is probably in my pull box except for this. Godfather of Hell. I could have sworn I added it, but I'm gonna have to double check on that. But we're gonna go into like a little bit of news. The news that I'm gonna show is stuff that interests me personally, and I kind of like wanted to share it with you guys. So if it don't interest you, or just news in general don't interest you, I mean, you can kind of like click away at this point. But first off, we have the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. English dub reveals cast and crew, release date. I'm really not gonna. I mean, if you want to see this stuff, but pretty much it's the Red Ranger going pretty much in a whole nother time to a whole he's out of his element. And although it already started, it's like 4 episodes in. I kind of wanted to put it out there for Power Ranger fans and Magic fans. It's like Power Rangers meets Magic, and it's just something I wanted to put out there and kind of bring some attention to some new anime coming out, but it's something I'm definitely going to check out. Next up, we have One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen come to life at Universal Fan Fest nights. Tickets go on sale. Event runs at Universal Studios Hollywood. This has nothing to do with me because I am in Florida, so unless Universal... Wait, where's this at? Now I'm curious. Never mind. This is near us. Near me. I think I got the dates wrong. Let's click on this. Let's see what it brings us to. Because is this near me, like Florida, or is this $74? What they give you? It's in Cali, Universal Studios Hollywood. Yeah, Cali. Yeah. What did I say before? I don't remember. But yeah, if you're in California, Jujutsu Kaisen and One Piece are pretty much getting their own theme attraction. Lucky you guys. I mean, in here in Florida, we got Harry Potter, so we're winning. What else we got? My Hero Academy Vigilantes anime, which I knew they was going to drop a Vigilantes anime. And this is pretty much going over the pro heroes who are going to be in it. Ahead of the April 7th debut of Japanese television, official website for spin-off anime My Hero Academy Vigilantes. I don't say Academy, I say Academy. For those wondering why I'm kind of like butchering it. Unveil new character visuals for Pro Heroes All Might, Eraserhead, Present Mike, Midnight, and Ingenium. Nice. And I guess this is how they're going to look. Which, if that's the case, this is Ingenium older. No, this must be his brother. It is, because if you look at his helmet right here, he kind of like has a horn. Ida doesn't have that. So that's his brother. Nice. And I'm just scrolling through this so y'all can like pause and read this right here if you want. And then that's it. And that's pretty much all the anime news that interests me. I'm really excited to start this right here because freaking awesome. Like, look at that right there. That must be like his Megazord, I wonder, back here. But on to comic book news. Comic book set to rocket in price next week over tariffs. If you haven't been living under a rock, and to not get too political, Donald Trump put tariffs on certain countries, and it looks like one of them comic books I said we're going to impose tariffs and taxes on American companies printed over in Canada. So, summary, so I don't have to read everything. Comic book prices may rise due to New York tariffs on Canadian printed comics starting next week. 25% tariffs could change $4 comics to $5, affecting major publishers like Marvel and DC. Tariffs may lead to delays and impact on Free Comic Book Day. Supply chains disrupt. Tariffs in China may worsen, threatening the viability of U.S. comic book retailers. So Todd McFarlane might not be able to do $2.99 comic books anymore for his Spawn line. So I guess all the people who've been saying floppy books are dying, looks like you guys are going to get your wish, because if these prices go up like this, then nobody's gonna buy physical copies anymore. People are just gonna pay for DC Direct and Marvel Unlimited because some of these books are already like $8, $9, $10. You're telling me they're gonna go to 9, 10, 11, or 10, 11, 12, respectfully, just over the course of a week, which is freaking insane. I mean, the tariffs are going to affect a lot of things, but people who were spending like, 20, 40, $60 a week on comic books are expected to pay not double, but if you were spending $60 a week, you're probably going to end up spending 80 now, which is freaking horrible. But I kind of want to bring that to everybody's attention, what's going on in the comic book world. So expect a raise in comic book prices potentially, which we've been getting over time, and even before the tariffs, we didn't like it. So imagine what's going to happen now that like it's forced to happen because these comic book shops have to get their money somehow. But next one, Dark Horse downsizes. Pretty much this just goes over Dark Horse just laying off a bunch of people. As you can read right here, on February 3rd, Dark Horse made the difficult but necessary decision to reduce staff. After experiencing a period of significant growth, we find ourselves needing to take steps in response to increasing overhead, changing market conditions, and external economic factors. We have begun to streamline our areas of the company. Pretty much, they laid people off just to, make sure they stay afloat. But Connor, I'm going to take a shot in the dark, and his name is actually Knudsen, and the K is silent. But today I was laid off from Dark Horse Comics. While devastating news, I'm so proud of what I helped make there, and I'm grateful to have worked alongside such amazing coworkers and creators. I'm not quitting comics yet, so if you or someone you know needs a savvy editor, please reach out. So they're going after editor, well, not going after, but they laid off just pretty much everybody in a department, a little bit of everybody in a department. So that's sad. So people losing their jobs is never good. But overall, that's what I got. That is the end of the show. So comment below. Let me know what you guys have been reading, what you are trying to read, what's on your to be read list that you're trying to get to that you probably would never make it to. For me, it's tackling this Spawn for me. Just let me know what you guys think of the new format. Of course, it's kind of rusty until I can really get the ball going on, like get it going smoothly, like smooth transitions and stuff. But I've stopped it a few times and played it, so I really don't know how long this has been going. But if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Super Heavy Sam, we're done.